Imagine waking up on a planet where almost everything is dying. No birds, no forests echoing with life, no oceans filled with thriving creatures. Just silence and death. What if I told you that nearly 252 million years ago, Earth came closer to becoming a lifeless world than at any other point in its history? Not an asteroid, not an ice age, but an apocalypse so devastating that it erased around 90% of marine species and about 70% of land vertebrate species. Life itself stood on the edge of extinction. Scientists call it the Permian Triassic Mass Extinction. But history remembers it by a far more chilling name: the Great Dying. The skies turned poisonous, the oceans suffocated, volcanoes erupted for hundreds of thousands of years, entire ecosystems collapsed. Creatures that had ruled Earth for millions of years disappeared forever. And for a brief moment in geological time, it seemed as though our planet had lost the battle for life itself. But what caused an extinction so complete? Could it happen again? And how did the tiny handful of survivors rebuild a world that would one day belong to the dinosaurs, and eventually to us? This is the story of the deadliest catastrophe Earth has ever endured: the Great Dying. Our planet was pushed to the very edge of complete and total biological collapse. Scientists studying this event have given it a name that needs absolutely no embellishment. They simply call it the Great Dying. In what is now modern-day Siberia, the Earth's crust opened in a way it had rarely, if ever, opened before or since. Enormous fissures spread across a region larger than the entire continent of Australia, releasing lava and gas in volumes that are almost impossible for the human mind to fully comprehend. This was not a single, contained eruption. This was a sustained, continuous volcanic catastrophe, one that may have lasted for hundreds of thousands of years without pause, releasing an amount of carbon dioxide, sulfur, and methane into Earth's atmosphere that dwarfed, by an enormous margin, every other eruption in this entire countdown combined. Global temperatures rose by an estimated 8 to 10 degrees. Oceans absorbed the excess carbon and, in response, turned steadily corrosive. As the water warmed further, it lost its ability to hold on to oxygen, and vast dead zones, not confined to a single region this time, but stretching across the entirety of the planet, spread silently and relentlessly across the seafloor. In the suffocating darkness of those oxygen-starved waters, certain bacteria bloomed uncontrollably and released toxic gas into the surrounding water and air. Gas that some scientists now believe may have damaged the very ozone layer meant to protect all life on Earth from the sun's radiation. Sea, land, air, all three systems failed, almost simultaneously, in a single chain reaction the Earth had never once before experienced, and, as far as we know, has never experienced again since. When it was finally, mercifully over, an estimated 96% of all marine species were gone. On land, roughly 70% of vertebrate life had vanished right alongside them. It would take an estimated 10 million years, an almost incomprehensible span of time, for life on Earth to even begin resembling anything close to what had been lost. This was not simply an extinction event. This was the closest that life on this entire planet has ever come to ending completely, permanently, and irreversibly. And here, finally, is the part of this story that should stay with you long after this video has ended. The very same region of the world, Siberia, is once again at the center of a distinctly modern warning. Beneath its frozen ground lies an enormous reserve of trapped carbon and methane, locked safely away inside permafrost that has remained solidly frozen for tens of thousands of years. But the Arctic today is warming nearly 4 times faster than the rest of the entire planet, and that same ancient frozen ground is now beginning, steadily, to thaw. Scientists have already documented strange, sudden craters violently appearing across the Siberian tundra, caused by pockets of built-up gas explosively escaping the melting earth beneath them, a quiet, eerie, unmistakable echo of the very same chemistry that once brought all life on this planet to the absolute edge of total extinction. We are not opening fissures the size of an entire continent, but we are running a smaller, quieter version of the very same experiment, releasing greenhouse gases into our atmosphere faster than our planet's natural systems were ever built to safely absorb, warming our oceans until they begin steadily losing oxygen and creating dead zones that, while admittedly not yet global in scale, are already spreading, quietly, steadily, across dozens of coastlines around the entire world. The Great Dying took hundreds of thousands of years to fully unfold, from its very first tremor to its final devastating collapse. We appear to be attempting something disturbingly similar in a matter of mere centuries. For millions of years, Earth was a world in recovery. The oceans, once bursting with life, were nearly empty. Forests had vanished. Entire branches of evolution, millions of years in the making, were erased forever. Yet somehow, life refused to surrender. From a handful of survivors came new beginnings. Small reptiles evolved into mighty dinosaurs. Tiny mammals endured in the shadows, waiting for their time. And after hundreds of millions of years, one remarkable species would emerge. Us. The Great Dying reminds us that life on Earth is both incredibly fragile and astonishingly resilient. It shows us that even after the darkest chapter in our planet's history, life found a way to begin again. But it also leaves us with an unsettling question. If natural forces once pushed Earth so close to becoming a lifeless world, what lessons should we learn today? History doesn't repeat itself in exactly the same way, but it does remind us that no species, no matter how dominant, lasts forever. Our story is only one chapter in Earth's 4.5 billion-year history, and one day, it too will become part of the fossil record. The Great Dying wasn't just the end of one world, it was the beginning of another. And without it, the age of the dinosaurs might never have come. Mammals might never have risen, and humanity might never have existed. Sometimes, the greatest endings become the foundation for entirely new beginnings. If you enjoyed exploring one of Earth's greatest mysteries, subscribe to Echoes of Extinction. Every week, we uncover the forgotten worlds, ancient creatures, and catastrophic events that shaped life on our planet. Until next time, keep exploring the echoes of Earth's forgotten past.